HIMS and hers have had an absolute blowout quarter, and these numbers I'm very, very impressed with. So revenue growth was up 77% year on year. Next quarter, they're forecasting for 89 to 91% year on year revenue growth for the quarter. And for the full year, we had another massive upward revision of guidance, now at 1.46 to 1.465 billion for FY24. Remember, this time last year, they were forecasting, well, their long-term target was 1.2 billion of revenue for FY25. Now for FY25, it looks like they'll probably generate 1.8 or even 1.9 billion in revenue, which is absolutely nuts. So yeah, top line was extremely good. 25% quarter on quarter revenue growth, obviously helped a lot by GLP-1. We didn't actually get the revenue growth excluding GLP-1, which was a figure that I actually really wanted. But what we did get is 40% year on year growth in subscribers, excluding GLP-1. So the long and short of it is the long-term growth we're looking at, excluding things like GLP-1, is around about that 40% range for HIMS at the moment. However, what we did get is, you can see, because their revenue was so much higher than their growth in subscribers, their average revenue per subscriber was up significantly to $67. Now, this is because weight loss starts at $97. GLP-1 is $197 a month. Sometimes it's less for certain discounts and things, but that's incredibly good because it's showing that HIMS can drive up that average revenue per subscriber. And that's one thing I mentioned where I said HIMS can potentially 30x if they do a combination of any three things. Increase valuation, which they've actually already done since I did my deep dive video. They're being valued at a higher multiple in the market. Increase their total number of subscribers. Again, they've passed that 2 million mark already. Or increase their average revenue per subscriber. Now, not only are they doing that because the weight loss category is high, but now they have 20% of weight loss subscribers are already on an additional treatment and 300,000 subscribers on 2 or more treatments. So it's easier to expand than land, right? And when you can expand on an existing customer, it means there's less spend on sales and marketing and more spend on other things to help grow your business and add more value to people's lives further. Obviously, if you're on more than one treatment plan with HIMS, this results in much higher retention. And also, if you're on customized treatment, which more are on customized than off customized, this also results in higher retention. You can see that the actual amount of customers that are on non-customized treatment is actually starting to stagnate. And that means that many are switching from sort of generic solution to a customized solution, which is obviously initiated by HIMS compounding pharmacies. What is really interesting is Dr. Carroll came on and gave some really key stats about GLP-1. And obviously GLP-1 is a medication where side effects are very, very common. And a combination of having that ongoing customer doctor support whilst patients go through some of these side effects is key, coupled with the fact that HIMS can compound and customize GLP-1 medication and general weight loss medication as well. It means that the retention rates are extremely high. So generally for GLP-1, HIMS's retention rate after 12 weeks is 70%, but the actual market average is less than 40%. So HIMS customers are much more happy and satisfied because of the aforementioned reasons sticking on GLP-1 compared to another provider. Gross margin is still holding incredibly strong at 79% and above HIMS's long-term target. It's nothing to worry about that it ticked down a little bit because HIMS was explaining since they are launching a new product, this often drags gross margins down a little bit. And as economies of scale develop on the new product, then it can drive gross margins upwards again. HIMS also generated a huge amount of free cash flow on the quarter, 80 million. So if you annualize this 80 million, then they could have the potential to generate 320 million of free cash flow on the year. And when you actually look at that, based off the current market cap, that gives you a current price of free cash flow of 14. Now, I'm not suggesting that they have a price of free cash flow of 14 because they would need to generate this 80 million of free cash flow across 4 consecutive quarters, right? But it does show you that they have the potential to be a cash flow machine. Also, their net gap income was very huge at 75.6 million, so not far behind free cash flow. And this was an 18.8% margin. So HIMS are proving that they can be very profitable on a gap basis when they're still heavily reinvesting, for example, 45% of their revenue in sales and marketing. Now, What is interesting is their capex is actually likely to re-accelerate. Management were talking about this because they're expanding their capacity, particularly within personalized options, and also investing heavily in automation at their compounding facilities, which is excellent. Now, the market may not like that. The market may say, oh, we want the next 3 consecutive quarters, another 3 times 80 million of cash flow, and HIMS will be trading at 14 times cash flow. But I mean, that's obviously not what management are doing. And management are very smart to be reinvesting this money in the long-term value of the business. So capex certainly doesn't scare me, but it is really reassuring to have this quarter where you can see, wow, like HIMS can generate GAAP margins of 18.8%. So those were all the main points from the quarter. I am very, very happy with what they're doing. The stock is up 8% after hours. I'm actually quite surprised. It's only up 8%, and HIMS deserve more than an 8% uplift in valuation, in my opinion, based off these results. You know, based off the fact that as I said, the bottom line is high. The numbers excluding GLP-1 are still good at 40%. I'd have liked to see revenue, but at least we got it from subs. Average revenue per subscriber, that's always something that I wanted to see tick up, and they're showing that that's gone up significantly off the back of GLP-1. So they're able to upsell 300,000 on 2 or more treatments is amazing. That's driving average revenue per subscriber as well. So there are many, many ticks for HIMS. Outstanding business. I'm very happy with these quarterly results, and I will continue to be a large shareholder. I'm definitely not selling any shares. I may consider adding to my position a little bit more. Not financial advice. Please don't copy me. This is just for informational purposes. Thank you very much for listening.